Welcome back to part 2 of the power distro build. If you guys watched the first video, that's when I put the case together, the face plate, the back plate, and the whole chassis together. Now I'm going to do the belly of the entire distro. This is when I put in the connectors, the distribution blocks, the plugs, the sockets, the wiring.
Yeah, action sound. Yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa. Desire to get to higher life, it's an open road. Desire to get to higher, don't limit it, yeah, desire to get to higher life, it's an open road. Life it's a subject, ain't not an object, ain't full control.
Alright, so what you're looking at here is the casing. I got the sides, the bottom, and the back plate all together. I got the front plate sitting right here that I'm getting ready to wire up. My distros are over there in the drawer. I'm about to pull those out. But I decided, because I have limited space inside the case, I decided to go with DIN bars. So I'm using DIN bars on for the distro, and I'm using DIN bars for the connectors as well. And I'm gonna show you exactly what this is in just a minute. So when I say DIN bar connectors, I'm talking about connectors like these. I decided to go with these. These could hold up to 0 gauge wire, 1 gauge wires, and I'll be putting them together. I have different colors for each different signal type, so it'll be easy to recognize it just by looking into the distro box. But these are the terminals I tend to go with. These are called terminal blocks, mostly used with solar systems, solar panel boxes. This is rated for so this is more than enough for what I'm doing here. I'm just doing a 50 amp distro box, 240 volts. So this is more than enough for what I'm doing. I also bought jumpers because I'll be using 2 blocks for each signal, and the jumpers are gonna connect 2 blocks together, so the signal can jump from one box to the next. Okay, and a quick demonstration: these snap on the rail just like this. And all the wires will be plugging in here and going into their designated location. So you're gonna sit tight while I assemble this box. So I hope you guys enjoy what I'm about to bring to you. And this is going to be a couple day process for me, but it's gonna be a click of the remote for you. Okay, so here's a few of the things that the tools and equipment that I'm going to use. And the chassis right here with the boss with a DIN bar already mounted to it. Later on you're going to see what that's for. Got a face panel. It's got the 15 amp breaker, 20 amp plug on there, and it has one of the digital display already mounted. The reason why I only put one is because I want access to the connectors that are on the sides. Okay, once I run the wire to that one, then I'm gonna plug the other one in and hook the wires up to that one. I've got the outlets for the back, 240 outlets for the back, and these are 125s. Got the breaker. Our breaker system is also sitting on a DIN bar as well. Okay, so I got a DIN bar style breaker, and I have another DIN bar that's bolted inside inside the panel itself. And like I said, you guys will see what that's for. In fact, I'll tell you, these connectors are going to be mounted inside this on this DIN bar here, but you'll see later on when I put that together. Alright, all 10 gauge wires, all 4 different colors. You know, black is for my positive, red is for my positive, and I have my neutral and my ground. So like I said, all 10 gauge. I have heat shrink because I'll be using heat shrinks on the ends, soldering iron, heat gun, wire cutter, wire crimper and cutter, wire stripper, you know, all the necessary things that I'm going to need. The screws and so forth they're not far off. The only thing that's missing from the table now is my main in and outs, which I have placed over here for now, and my main in and out wires. And this is all 4 gauge. I'm going with 4 gauge. The ground is going to be an 8 gauge, but the rest of it is 4. It all came together in one, so I figured 8 gauge ground, it should be alright. Leave a comment down below, let me know if that 8 gauge ground is going to be alright or not, alright? Okay. Let me just start the assembly. So right now, I'm just going to make jumpers that's going to be connecting these two together. So I need to create some jumpers that's going to jump from one terminal to the next one. Alright, so I need to maybe about what? Let's see how I want it to look. It's about 5 inches. 5 inches should be plenty. Alright, so let me get started. Make sure that you have no excessive wire exposed. You want to trim the insulated section of the wire off, but don't leave any exposed wire. So you just cut it just enough to get it inside the connector where it's not exposed. So these are my 240 plugs. I'm putting them in. I'm putting the wires in now because this is going to be easier than putting them in when I have all the plugs in place. So I'm putting them in now so I can organize the wire. I cut them with enough length. All the 240 plugs are in. This is what it looks like from the inside. And I gotta neat these wires up. But that's all the 240s in. Two of these, like I said, it's gonna have plugs in it, but it's not gonna be connected. Because these are additions, so I can make updates later on. Yeah, but these two right here is going to have one. I'm not gonna leave them blank. I'm gonna put a plug in it, but it's not gonna be active, right? And that's for later on. If I wanted to add 2 more amplifiers, I can always longer. Trust me, there's a method to the madness. It's gonna be tight in here, so all the places that I know that's gonna be tight, which is pretty much everywhere that's at the bottom and in the back, I want to run the wires for those first. Get those out the way. Run the wires for those, and then I'll be all right. So here we go. Here's your 110. These are your sorry, not 110. Yeah, your 120. 120 plugs. To start running the ground wires, and as I said earlier, all the red and black wires are now in my way, and the chassis is much smaller, so it's going to be a little bit more tedious for me to distro. I'm going to do the grounds wire first, then I do the live. Here we are at the end, day 3, about to finalize everything on this power distro. As you can see, I am almost finished. I just got to put the cover on. It's already done. Just got to put it on, close it up. That's it. There's 2 plugs in the back that I've made extra that I want to cover up as well. I'm gonna do that later. But for now, the entire distro is finished. Today I am going to day 3. Day 1 was building the case and starting the wiring. Day 2, finishing up the wiring. Day 3, I'm gonna test to make sure everything is all right. So I'm gonna go get my tester. I have my power cable that I'm gonna give power to it, and then I'm gonna check everything to make sure everything works before I mount it in the rack. All right, here I am back again. I have my voltmeters. This is one I'm gonna use today. All right. First thing I gotta do is get some power to this baby first. Once I get some power to it, then I'll just go ahead and hook my tester up. Got my tester right here beside me. And I'm gonna be using this plug right here. Let me get these cables. There we go. I got my pigtail plugged in. Before I plug this one in, I want to make sure my breaker is off. So I got my breaker off. I got the wire plugged into my pigtail, and I'm going to turn my breaker on. Alright, so here is a complete product. I have a 50 amp inlet, a 50 amp output. I have a 15 amp output on the front for accessories. I got 8 breaker, 6 of them is a 2-pole 240 by 30 amps. Those are for my amplifiers. And then the other 2, I have a single pole 30 by 120 volts, and I have a single pole 20 amps by 120 volts. The 20 amp is for my accessories. The 30 amp is if I have a 120 amplifier that needs 120, not 240, then I could use this one. So this one is not going to be used that much. Okay, but this is it. The breaker for the 15 amp in the front is right here. But that's pretty much it. This is the product. I am about to plug it in. If you haven't seen the case building, the building of the case, go ahead and check my other video out. This right here, I'm just pointing this out. You can see where I bent the blank panels to make this case. And I had like 4 or 5 blank panels that I cut and bent to make the case you see in front of you now. Here's the back. I have 2 duplex. This is 20 amp at 120 volts. I have 2 twist lock, which is 30 amp at 120 volts. These are extra that I put in here, so if I wanted to add more amplifiers later on, I can always just put the plug in and wire those. And these 6 over here is my 6 240 by 30 amps, and these are for my amplifiers. And that's the back. Here's the guts. I use DIN rails with terminal blocks instead of bus bars and ground bars and stuff like that. The brake is also on a DIN rail system. Okay. I have the chassis grounded right here. It's also grounded by the DIN rail right here. So it's well grounded. All I gotta do is put the cover on. The cover is finished. I just gotta put the cover on and close things up. And that's it for this case. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna plug this in now. So we can see that everything worked. I already test everything. I know all my outlets work. I know my breakers and everything is working. Everything is fine. But I'm just gonna plug it in. You're able to see the meters for the X and the Y lines, the amperage and the voltage reading for both sides. All right. I'm holding the camera in one hand and I'm working with one hand only, so bear with me. Let me put this down and plug this in. Here we are. Here we are with the 50 amp cable right here plugged into the 50 amp plug. You can see it's reading 121 volts on X and on Y. X is the black, Y is the red. Okay. Yeah, and I already tested this. I used a voltmeter. All I did was put a voltmeter in these plugs to test to make sure I got the same 120 volts. I turned the breakers on and checked each of the outlets that's in here, and everything is fine. Okay, and that's it. Complete. have made those power distro that, you know, you go to Home Depot, you get them junction boxes and some outlets on the side sitting on a flat piece of 3/4 inch ply. That was my first distro box. My second one is pretty much the same kind of distro box, but this one was mounted into a rack case, and that's the one that I have in Jamaica currently today. Now this one here is my first rack mountable case. It was hard for me to find someone to build a chassis, and because I did mechanical engineering in high school coming up, I know my way around a machine shop, so I started making this case. I didn't want flimsy metals, so I didn't get any sheet metal and bend sheet metal, all that stuff. What I did was I bought these 14 gauge blank rack panels. I had a 3-space, a 3-space, a 3-space, and I had 2 4-space at one at the top, one at the bottom. And I just bent the ears off of them, bent the ears to make my chassis. I think it's pretty damn good for what it is. If I don't point out the fact that it's got rack mount ears, you probably won't even know that that's what it is that made it up, you know. But this is number 1. I have 2 more left to build. The first one here, there's a few things I've seen that I want to do differently. Take for instance this plug right here. I want to raise it up a little higher and bring this breaker up a little higher as well. I want to space these apart over a little more, try to center it with the plug. I need to create more space between these 2 plugs right here, so I might slide this over a little as well. Second thing that I noticed that I want to make differently is, because of the terminal blocks, I don't have a lot of space to move around in here. I don't know if you can see it. It was pretty hard for me to get the wires in there, you know what I mean? Especially these 2. I ain't gonna lie, especially these 2 right here that it's straight across. It was very tough to get it in there, but I got it done. But what I'm gonna do, I like how this is high above it, but this one below right here is actually very close to the block itself, about 1/2 inch away from the block. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this from here and I'm gonna put it up here, and I'm gonna design the next panel where this right here is blank. So my 2 120/30 amps will be right here, and then over here I'll still have the 6 240s. But that's just a few things that I want to tweak, just for my sake. That's something that I want to perfect. That's just me, okay? But my GoPro died, so I'm doing everything by the phone. And here's the cover. You can see right away what that is. It's a 4-space rack, blank rack panel, and this sits right here. It just sits right here, and I screw it up, and I'm done. So that's it. That is it. Hey, once again, thanks for watching this video. I hope y'all learned something from it. I hope y'all enjoyed it as well. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. All you electricians down here, please don't beat up too hard. Don't beat on me too hard, all right? This is my 3rd box, and I'm not a professional. I said it out loud. I'm not a professional, so don't judge me by it, all right? I'm gonna have somebody professional look it over. I had a few friends of mine that are electricians. I'm gonna have them look it over and make sure everything is fine. But I know everything is fine because I've tested it, and it's pretty much plug and play. You know, once you know what's positive, what's negative, all that stuff, you're pretty good to go. But until next time, thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and to subscribe. All right? Enough respect.
Yeah, whoa, yeah, action sound. Yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa. Desire to get to higher life, it's an open road. Desire to get to higher, don't limit it, yeah, go about. Desire to get to higher life, it's an open road for the beat. Life it's a subject, ain't not an object, take a full control.